What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here to go ahead and talk about the brand new arena that's arrived here on Global, which is this guy right here, ASHURA DOJI. Now, I think a lot of people probably have the same consensus about this piece of content, in that it's probably the most difficult arena that we've had thus far. Essentially, if you're not using King or Queen as a friend captain, it's going to be extremely difficult to get through this content. However, there will be 3 different teams in this video that do not utilize King or Queen as a friend captain, and I will show you guys my team that I do have using King and Queen as the hybrid captains, of course. So there are a couple of different teams in this video that can kind of work for many different people, so hopefully at least one of these teams will be helpful for you guys out there today. But before we actually get into the breakdown of the content, let's actually go ahead and have a look at this unit. Let's see what this unit actually does. ASHURA DOJI is a quick slasher powerhouse with a captain effect of boosting quick by 3x, 1.2 health, so pretty bad captain effect. So his stage 1 special reduces special binder by 4 turns, threshold by 4 turns, 80 times his attack is typeless damage to all enemies, so damage dealing special is always great. He also will give you a 2 times conditional boost versus characters that are defense down inflicted, and then also gives your quick, slasher, and powerhouse characters a 300 stat boost for 1 turn, or it's a 300 attack boost for 1 turn. Unfortunately, his stage 1 special isn't super great because the 4 turn debuff removal is not that amazing, and he gives you the conditional boost, but he doesn't really give you a way to proc it, so that's a little bit annoying. But then we have a look at stage 2, which is so much better because you can see straight away sets all enemies defense to 0 for 1 turn, 6 turn special bind removal, 6 turn threshold removal, 120 times his attack and typeless damage. He gives you the 2 times conditional boost against defense down, and he gives a 500 attack stat boost to quick, slasher, and powerhouse characters. So his stage 2 special is actually phenomenal, just in terms of a free-to-play character, but unfortunately, having such a high cooldown, you're essentially never going to see it, unless if you like use it on a Garp challenge or in a Kizuna clash where this guy's boosted. You can see some places, you know, utilizing a special like this, because it is a good special, but it's just unfortunate that in like arenas, in raid bosses, you're basically never ever going to see this guy, unfortunately, just because of the extremely high cooldown. Now, this guy actually has a pretty decent support, attaching to Kinemon Kanjuro, Dogstorm, Cat Viper, Riser, Okiku, Kozuki Oden, Denjiro, and Kawamatsu, and it says that if they use their special, it will boost that character's attack by 1.5 for 1 turn. So, namingly, Kozuki Oden would probably be the best character for this, as Kozuki Oden, the legend one, is extremely self-centered with his super type, and you can use his special ability plus this now to give him an attack boost on top of that. So yeah, I guess there may be some niche uses for this, but at the moment, yeah, I don't really see it being used too much, but I guess Kozuki Oden can kind of use it in the future for sure. So now that we've gone ahead and talked about the brand new character, let's go ahead and jump into the 4 teams that I have for you guys in today's video. So let's go ahead and jump into the video today. First team you see here is going to be with Goldie Roger as the main captain, and also Super Type Zoro as the friend captain. If you don't have Roger yourself, you can definitely run it the other way around with your hybrids. That is absolutely no issues whatsoever. Also, shout out to Nabezo, who is the original inspiration for this particular team. Not exactly the same, but definitely original inspiration for sure, so shout out to them. And for this particular team, I do also have support Sabo, who was an addition to this team that I decided to have. If you don't have support Sabo, it shouldn't be a big deal. I would probably recommend to run a really good stat boosting support, like potentially V2 Sanji, I think could be a really good one. You just want to make sure that Luffy and Ace have a really good stat boost on them, like if you give them cotton candies, because you want to make sure that they hit extremely hard on the revive of the final boss stage. Now on stage 4, this stage absolutely sucks. You see, this is like a new type of mechanic that you'll be seeing here. These crewmates are inflicted with this debuff, which basically means that until you hit a certain amount of tap timings, those particular characters cannot charge their specials through passing turns. If you have a character that can reduce the cooldowns of your other characters with a special, that will still work, but it just means that your cooldowns will not go down naturally. So it's a pretty annoying gimmick that they're introducing with this quest. Hopefully it does not appear that often, because in my opinion, it's a pretty stupid gimmick, and I just hate when they reduce, like, just introduce all these stupid gimmicks for no reason, and this is definitely one of them. And resilience is a big thing in this fight as well. As you see, Inuarashi had that, and also the final boss, ASHURA DOJI, also has to deal with that stupid resilience buff. And it is for that reason why we're using the Dreadnought Saber ship. If you guys don't have it, it's pretty good actually. On quests where you have to deal with resilience, you can just use the ship instead. Unfortunately, the ship does not give you an attack boost, so that is the only downside to the ship in general. I really hope that we actually get another ship in the future at some point that actually gives your crew an attack boost, as well as, you know, dealing end of turn damage. That would be ridiculously cool, but I feel like they probably won't do that. But obviously the combination of Roger and Odin are able to give our free spirit characters a really good orb boost, and also a really good attack boost with Roger. Works for our slashes as well. Just a really nice combination of units here, of course. And the other thing as well is the burn. You see that we have a lot of burn damage stacking up here. You get dealt 10,000 damage per perfect. But of course, because of the healing of Shirahoshi Manshuri that we got from the previous stage, we don't have to worry about that at all. Also, something to note is that you will be given really nasty debuffs, as you can see here. We actually have the recovery slot and also the healing debuff if one of your captains is not quick or dex. So if you have a strength, a psi, or an int captain, you're going to be inflicted with that really nasty healing debuff. Moving on now to the second team of the video, which is going to be with the brand new Final Tap Luffy. Shout out to Ginkgo Biloba. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel down below in the video description, who was, again, like an original inspiration, not the exact same, but an original inspiration that seemed really cool using Final Tap Luffy. Now, the main thing here, as you can see with Kawamatsu's stage, Kawamatsu's just a bitch, man. I absolutely hate that guy. We just want to just stall it off because of the paralysis and also the barrier, but he actually doesn't really do anything after, like, turn 1. He just hits you every single turn. He doesn't really do much at all, but a really good combination of characters here. We're using the Ace and Sabo switch effect to make adjacent slots matching and ensuring that we get the super swap as soon as we enter the final boss room versus ASHURA DOJI. But we also have the support of Karina attached to Nami, meaning that when we use the special of Nami, it will change adjacent slots into matching. So we're able to generate a full board of matching slots for our crew here, using the super types of Luffy to reduce the cooldowns of our characters that were reduced obviously by Dogstorm, and then Nami is going to give us a 2.75 times chain lock for 4 turns, so that's going to be lasting for quite a while here. This is another team that I would advise to have really good stat boosting supports on your Dex characters, namely a Sabo and also Rayleigh. But this team's actually really interesting for the fact that we actually are using V2 Rayleigh, which is a character that you don't see too often. Now, the main reason why they're going to be used is because V2 Rayleigh is going to be very useful for the revive, and because we are inflicted with this really nasty burn here, we only have a certain amount of perfects that we're able to hit. Remember, it's 10,000 damage per perfect. We have 30,000 HP. We can hit 3 perfects. I think I didn't even realize it and I actually hit 2 perfects instead, but you can definitely do 3, and I would advise doing it if you have that amount of health remaining. If you have less than 30,000, obviously you can only hit 2 perfects. But on the revive, you get empty slots, and the thing is Rayleigh, if you're below 30% and you use his special ability, he's going to change empty slots into matching. So that's great. We're able to get a full board of matching slots. We get an orb boost from Rayleigh, and then also Luffy, of course, gives us a really strong attack boost. And once again, the Dreadnought Saber does make an appearance to give us the end of turn damage to basically ignore any resilience that we may be encountering in this quest. Moving on now to the third team of the video using Final Tap Lore. Shout out to Chaitoon for the original inspiration for this particular team. Now this team has some pretty interesting choices as well. So we have the Boa Hancock, which is an older Kizuna unit, but the main reason why she is here is because of her crewmate ability. Her crewmate ability allows certain slots to be counted as beneficial to our team, and the thing is when you reach the final boss stage versus ASHURA DOJI, he's going to do different things depending on what your captain's color is. So if you've got a quick captain, he's going to change your slots into yellow, and if you have a green captain, he's going to change your slots into int. Now of course if you use king and queen as your two captains, then basically he gives you a full board of matching slots, which is pretty useful to have. But with this team we have the Hancock crewmate effect to generate those slots for us on the final boss room. Also the fact that Lore super type generates really good healing that is actually able to overheal means that we will walk into the final boss room with a lot of HP, meaning that we won't really have to worry about the burn too much. We can hit as many perfects as we want. And you can see we do have the Rebecca support on the Ben Beckman and Shanks crew character to generate a matching slot on that Shanks, so that when we do use his attack on the Dog Storm, it's going to be super effective. We have a matching slot, and it makes things a lot easier for this particular stage, of course. Now, getting around the resilience is a little bit annoying, but in this team, we're actually going to be using the Akainu and Fujitora dual unit from Treasure Map. Their switch ability will not only get around the resilience by doing a 7% health cut at the end of each turn when you use the switch, but it also is very useful for the fact that it generates an orb boost for your team. It boosts the orbs of your strength, dex, and int characters by 1.5 for one turn upon switching. So that's a very useful effect to have with this character. Being able to generate that orb boost every single turn is very good. We have Shanks crew as well, which can generate an attack boost every single turn. And of course, Shanks crew gave us that really nice chain lock for 3 turns to use against the Dog Storm and Cat Viper stage, as well as the first turn of Ashura Doji. And then of course on the revive we can use the Boa Hancock special, which also gives us a chain lock, but it also shuffles our slots around to, I think, Dex, Psi, and Int, I want to say. I can't remember exactly the slots that they give you, but it essentially gives us a large majority of our slots being matching, which means that we have the chain lock, and then of course Lore giving an attack boost and the increased damage taken, and of course the orb boost from the Akainu and Fujitora. A pretty cohesive team that's able to get the job done, which is great. And then of course it's going to be the final team of the video, utilizing the brand new Sugo Fest batch, King, Queen. We have Denjiro, the free-to-play character, who is very, very good for this, by the way. And then we also have Kamazo. Kamazo is just mainly here to remove the burn on the final boss stage, and that's all he is here for. The Kanjuro and Orochi character are completely replaceable. They do not need to be on the team. The only characters that are somewhat important are the Denjiro free-to-play character and also the Kamazo, just to remove the burn, but realistically speaking, you probably don't even need to get rid of the burn anyway. Although I would probably suggest it just to make things a bit easier, and Kamazo is able to provide that for your team, so that's what I would suggest. But the two rare recruits in Orochi and Kanjuro are just trash. You just do not need them on the team. Just left them here just because, you know, they give us a bit of a boost, and, you know, it's nice to have at least 6 characters on the crew, I suppose. But of course, the fact that you're able to use the super type of King as we did on the stage 3 gives us a full board of matching slots, which means that we are able to get through that orb barrier of Kawamatsu very, very easily. And then of course we have the amazing captain effects of King and Queen to continuously activate their specials, giving us multiple turns of their amazing attack boost, orb boost, chain boundary effect, and because of all of those amazing effects that we do get, we can just absolutely mollywop all these stages, and also because of any turn that their special is activated, they do 500 times their attack at the end of the turn, enabling us to get around the resilience stages as well. But that is going to wrap up this video today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.